Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Good morning. It's Monday, I think, the 21st of October. Almost at the end of the month. Almost. And I still haven't finished my 7 days of Halloween. But I will do. I've got a fairly hectic, busy week ahead of me this week. Today, Monday, I've got to sit and prepare a load of samples and demonstrations for a TV show, which I'm doing tomorrow. So I'm going down to the Hochanda TV studios tomorrow. So Hochanda stands for Home of Crafts, Hobbies and Arts. And I have got 2 one-hour shows to do tomorrow. And I've got lots of new products and stuff from Indigo Blue which I'm demonstrating. So there's new stencils, there's new stamps, there's the luscious interference powders that you've seen me use recently on the did it with the trees, the birch trees, the silver birch trees. That was the version 2 of the October Mission Inspiration. Anyway, so that kind of stuff. So, but they've got, it says just leaning down, I've been sent by Indigo Blue a couple of new stencils. So, and they're round. They haven't told me what they're called, what the names of these stencils are. They've just sent me the stencils to play with, to do my demos with. And yeah, they do. I like my stencils, I like the smell of it. And you all know that I do, or have done in the past, some large round art journals. I've got a 12-inch art journal which is circular and an 8-inch one which is circular. Now, these stencils are only 6 inches, so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just creating, or trying to create, some pages to use which are round, so that we can do some round art journal pages. I've got a bit of an itchy eye today, so apologies for me pulling at my eyeball. So yes, so that's what I'm doing now. So I'll just flip you over to my overhead camera and you can see what I'm doing and how I'm going to create the pages. So see you in a bit. So I've got some watercolour cardstock. This is just some older stuff that I'm repurposing. And I've got my X-cut circle scissors. Well, we call them circle scissors, but they're not. It's just a blade that whizzes round. And I'm just trying to position it on the page so that I'm not losing, excuse my mug of coffee. So that I don't waste a lot. So I think that blade, it's going to come off there. I think that's going to fit. I'm doing it just over 6 inches, or just slightly bigger. I think I might need some new blades. There we go. So there's one. So to compare that, I'm doing it just slightly bigger than 6 inches. So that's going to create a nice tondo, which is a circular piece of art. It's a Renaissance term, tondo. And I can do whichever side I want. So I'm going to do a couple of versions of these, or a couple of these little circular ones, just to use in demos for the TV. So that blade looks like it does definitely need, make sure that feels a bit better. Perhaps I was just doing it the wrong way around. Perhaps it's blunter on one side than it is on the other. So I'm just going to cut out some more pages and just do another sheet over here. So I think 4 probably will do it. But I won't waste these bits, obviously. I will cut those up and they can possibly be used for other stuff at a later date, because waste not, want not, and all that. When I'm looking for bits of watercolour cardstock to create some ATCs, either circular or ordinary size, that will come in useful for that. So I can go back in stash, and then let's try and line this back up again. You see, it's going to go off the page there. So X-cut circle scissors. They've got like a silicone rubber pad which will grip onto your paper, and you can adjust for the size of the circle from 4 inches all the way up to 12 and I think it's about 12 and a half or 12 and a quarter, which is cool, particularly if you're wanting to do a large sized circular art journal, which I haven't done a circular one in a few weeks. Look, didn't press hard enough, that's fine. So I've now got 4 circular ones, and what I will do is I will create a couple of samples. Where's the blade guard gone? Put it down, and I don't know what I've done with it now. It's always the case. It'll have rolled off somewhere. Oh, no, there it is. It's on my other desk, on my computer desk. So, there we go. So that's the blade guard, to stop you from stabbing yourself when not being used. So, those are what I'll be using for my demos on the TV, so I need to cut a couple more just to do another kind of like little art journal page, or a couple of samples. So, let me try and find my other watercolour sheets, like the watercolour paper. So, Dale Rowney, mixed media, weight 169, 250. That's not quite right, because the other pad says £140, 300 GSM. They can't both be right. Can they? Or can they? I don't think I'm going to get more than one out of that, am I? No, it's going to be one per sheet. There we go. Right, so I didn't adjust, so I didn't move. That'll do. Make sure I push down harder this time. There we go. Swan. It's a bit whiter, that one. This paper is just a little bit whiter. And 2. Easy as pie. Haha, do you get it? Right. So, put the blade guard back on. And then we've got those for the TV. So put those to one side so I don't use them. So I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to use this one. Now I've got a dandelion stamp, an indigo blue dandelion stamp. If you can find what he did with it. It's in here somewhere. That one. Now, a while ago, I made some cards using these. Just very, very basic. That's the dandelion stamp. It comes with the sentiment, "Thank you for bringing sunshine into my life." I can't find the sentiment. I can find the stamp today, but I can't find the sentiment that went with it. It's obviously fallen off the laminate sheet and it's got swept up somewhere. But I'm not sure. I can't remember whether I made these in the old house or this house. I think I probably made them in the old house. so no idea where it is. So I've just done them in 2 different backgrounds, and I used Brusho pigment powders for the backgrounds on this, but today I'm going to use paint because I need to use paint because that's what Indigo Blue sells. So I'm going to just create something using this stamp on these background, one of these backgrounds. I might use this one actually because it's probably a bit more in keeping. So I hope you don't mind me messing about and playing while I'm doing this vloggy kind of video, because I'm conscious that I haven't uploaded many art journaling or project videos recently. The mojo hasn't really come back, and I'm doing this not because I'm inspired but because I need to do it, which is 2 totally different things. This is like real proper work, rather than, excuse the knock. You know, I'm not doing it out of pleasure, I'm doing it out of necessity, which is a bit annoying really. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a couple of colours. I want some kind of like nice lightish colours, so I'm going to have banana custard, and I'm going to use, I think I'll use the apricot blush. It feels a bit thick. And then I'm going to add maybe a little bit of rouge. I think those 3 colours I'm going to use. So kind of a nice warm palette. There we go. Just put those back on the floor. So we'll do this one. We'll do that one. Just grab my other mat. Okay, so this is obviously a non-stick. Now I'm hoping you can see this. So Indigo Blue Drunken Disorderly, rouge, and then we've got English Cottage acrylic paints in banana custard. And this is, again, Drunken Disorderly. They're all Indigo Blue. The Drunken Disorderly is just one of the ranges that they have within their family of products. And then we've got Apricot Blush. Nice. I like these 3 colours. It's like rhubarb and custard. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to put any gesso down on the page because I want the paint to grab. I've got some cosmetic sponges somewhere. There we go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put down the lighter colour first. So give it a shake. And then I'm just going to grab some of the yellow paint, put it on the work surface there. Now then, what I should theoretically do is get some stencil tape. This is like real low tack stuff. I'm going to try and leave a little bit of a like white frame border all the way around. I'm hoping that's going to hold it in place. There we go. Just on those 3 corners. Right, 3 corners? I can't count, can I? Not today anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub gently, I think. Just swirl it around. But try and stay within the confines of that circle. Try not to go over the edge. Just really gently. Now these are the cosmetic sponges you can pick up at most pharmacies for next to nothing. Next to nothing. I get a pack of like 20 or 30 and ooh, that's rather thick, and I don't pay a lot of money for them. I mean, less than £1 usually. Here we go, I'll just gently. So I'm not really using a lot of paint, as you can see. And I'm not rubbing very hard either. I'm just gently, just kind of rubbing. That's it, I think. So what I've got now is I've got a little bit of a space, kind of a line going right the way through the middle that I can use for that pink colour. So just give that a bit of a shake, and then because I can and I'm tight, I'm going to use the same sponge. So bring that pink right the way through. Just kind of blending towards this. Now I might have got a little bit under just at that point there, but that's okay. It's an art journaly kind of page anyway, so we're allowed a little bit of variation. I'm just going to just add in a little bit just towards the edges. So I'm now going to just lift that off, lift that off. So now we should just have a page of dots. But hey, and then obviously you can clean that off straight away, let that dry, have a little bit of a tidy, and then I'll be back and we'll see what we can do for the rest of the page in just a few minutes. And of course, the minute I start to do anything or try and concentrate, you hear the noise. That's workmen outside. They're getting ready to finish the roads on the new estate where we live, laying tarmac for top coat on the roads. This is what I've had to put up with for the past few weeks. It doesn't really help, does it? But anyway, I will try and battle through, so bear with. So I'm hoping you can still hear me okay, and it's not too loud. Anyway, so I've taken that off, I've cleaned the stencil off. But I think there might be a little bit too much of white in that background now. So what I've kind of done is I want to add a colour wash over the top. A very light colour wash. So I've got a Tim Holtz blending, I think these are Tim Holtz, don't say Ranger on them, do they? So they might actually just be a cheaper alternative. And I've got some more indigo blue paint. This time I've got Duck Egg. And this is a translucent paint, so it's not as opaque, but I've also got some water. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that paint, and I'm just now going to go over the top just to take away, so there's not a lot of colour in that. So I'm just going to take away a little bit of that white. Just get a little bit more. And it'll just give me a little bit of a tinge or tint. Just around the edges. And I'm only going really, really lightly. And you can see it's started to affect the paper a little. But it's just taking down. Probably should have put this colour down first, but hey ho, you live and learn. Okay, so it's just added like a little tint to the background of the paper. So I'll just quickly get that dried off. Okay, so that's pretty much dried now. You can see it's now gone a little bit off-white and it's kind of muted those colours in the background. So I've mounted up my stamp, the dandelion stamp, that one, and I'm just going to ink it up, and I've just mounted it onto an acrylic block, mainly because I can't find my stamp press. Somebody's had a tidy up and I can't find it anywhere. It's just typical, I know. And I'm just going to line it up so that it's kind of in that back quarter up here. Try and stay within that frame if you like. There we go. And I probably just cut the edge of the stamp then. Yeah, should have used the stamp press. Ruined that now. Okay, so yes, should have used the stamp press, couldn't find it, so made a complete mess of that. Don't like it anyway, so that's fine, so that can go in the bin. These are only tests and samples for demos, so we're allowed to make a few mistakes. So while I was huffing and puffing about making a complete mess of that one, I had a look around the craft room and ta-da, I found the stamp press. I put it away. I don't know why. I'd slotted it next to some folders, so no wonder I couldn't see it because it was like that wide. Anyway, right, so now we're going to learn from our mistakes. Okay, we're going to start again. This time I'm going to create a different kind of background before putting the stenciling over the top. So let's put those to one side for now. And I've got 3 colours. I'm going to use the same blue that I did that, but it was too light, too transparent for me. So this time I've pulled out some Townhouse Teal from Indigo Blue, which is more opaque. And I'm just going to use the same foam, and this time I'm going to bring the colours in like you would do an ink. Now bearing in mind I haven't put gesso on these pages at all. That looks much better. So I'll bring that blue right the way through from side to side and just gently just adding the paint, bearing in mind this is paint, not ink, into that background, and just kind of trying to blend it out so that we're not getting too harsh a line. But you know, it's paint when all's said and done. Okay, so we've got that one. Let's grab another blending tool. So that's got the blue on it. So I want to bring in that yellow, that banana custard again. Do the same thing. Just pop that bubble. Let the paint soak in, and then just hold that down, and then just bring that in over the top. And of course, where it catches the blue, it's going to create a nice greeny tone. So let's go over the top a little bit. Yeah. I'm just going really, really gently. And then at this side, again, really, really, really gently. I'm virtually putting no pressure down on that at all. Just allowing the weight of the wooden handle just pretty much on its own. Yeah. Kind of looks a little bit like a planet now, doesn't it? Okay, so we'll put the lids back on those. And then I'll get this cleaned up, allow that time to dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now because we didn't use very much paint at all, and very, very lightly, it's taken virtually no time at all in which to dry. Paint's soaked in, which is cool. So yeah, so we're ready just to go back to that stencil again, because when all said and done, the idea is to use those products. So I'll grab my stencil tape. Just lay across the top there. I'm only going to use a couple of pieces this time, just to hold it down. Yeah, actually, let's just do all four sides. Just for a little bit of added security. That's better. Right, this time I'm going to use white over the top. And I'm going to use indigo blue gesso. Indigo blue, white, gesso good. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Grab a handle. That was a bit gunked up, that one. Right. So I do use these for paint quite a lot. Okay, so grab some of that gesso, work it into the sponge, and then I'm going to start just stippling around. And it's going to lighten that colour up a little, so we've got a nice background. I'm trying to stay within, so it'll create a nice kind of background to work on, but it won't be too heavy. Go over and stay within the confines of the stencil. And I'm not even taking it right up to the edge. That will do. Give it a quick blast. Again, won't take long to dry, so I'll get this dried off. And the gesso just washes straight off the stencil anyway, so that's perfect. I'll be back in just a mo. Okay, so that should be sufficient to dry everything. Like I said, it's very, very low tack tape, so it's not going to pull your top layer off. There we go. So we've got nice little dots in the middle of that circle. I'm liking that. I'll just quickly clear that off. See, every time I do that, my bookcase, which is resting on top of the table, starts knocking against the wall. I will have to get it fixed sooner rather than later. There we go, that's much better. Right then, let's have a look at this stamp press. Let's lock that in. Over there, and then I'll drop that down. So I want it to be about here. Alright, so I'll just take that off so I can ink that up. I'm hoping this time that's moved. It's not sticking very well to the mat. I've got a funny feeling it's going to fall off. No. It'll be just my luck that it will fall off just as I'm turning it over. I suppose I could just turn it around and do it that way instead, couldn't I? When you have a stamp that doesn't stick anymore, turn your mat over. Ha 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 ha. Alright, let's give that a push. Yeah, you see? That looks better. Now that I've put pressure down on that, it should stick and hold down a bit better. It might be that this ink pad actually is almost expended. I know my Distress Mini, the Distress Archive on Mini is in the black soot. The black soot? Is it black soot? Yes, it is black soot. Is almost gone. Used to death. And I'm not going to buy another one, it's not an issue. But I'm going to just quickly use it. I want to target just the heads of the dandelions. Let's just see if we can get a little bit more depth on those. A little bit more maybe. They do look okay actually now. Yep, that'll do. Put that to one side, bring that in. Yeah, like that. Okay, so I now need to team that up with something. So I'm going to have a look at what sentiments we've got, words or phrases. Now, I'll just put that to one side and bring these in. Right, so a while ago, I released through Indigo Blue some journal word sets, 1 and 2. So there's now journal word sets 3 and 4 to go with. I don't have stocks of these at the moment. I'm hoping to get some, but the owners of Indigo Blue are away in India, so I'm not going to be able to get my hands on these for probably a week or two. They're not out there on holiday, they're actually out there working. They're doing a craft retreat over in India and doing artisan stuff and doing sightseeing and that kind of stuff. They're doing a tour, a craft tour of India, Jaipur I think they're in at the moment. So anyway, that's the reason why I'm not going to be able to get these and put them on the website just yet. So you've got set 3 and set 4, but also, not only, but also, we've got the first 2 sets of journal phrases. So journal phrase 1, be you bravely, dream big dreams, stay curious, tell me a story, follow your heart, choose to shine and make it happen. And then journal phrase 2, work of art, don't forget to fly, see the big picture, finding beauty, embrace the crazy, full of wonder and breathe deeply. Now that artwork is 90% of what the actual size is, and they are like so. So let me grab one of those off, get rid of that plastic cover so you can see it properly. There we go. So deeply etched red rubber. Put my teeth back in. Again, these ones are done using my own handwriting, or the font that I created using my own handwriting. And every single one of these fits inside the journaling block, but again, you can cut it if you want to extend it, maybe just use one of the words, entirely up to you. So for this one, I'm going to use the phrase full of wonder on that. So we'll grab that, get the block, shall we use the stamp press again just to make sure I don't cock this up, if you pardon my French. So let's pop that down on there, because you know me, I'm liable to make a complete mess of it right at the last minute. Okay, so I want to put full of wonder. Let's just put it there. I think that should do. And then we'll inky dinky up. Stick with the black. See? Can't be trusted. Cannot be trusted at all. So, because we've got that line around it now, I'm going to have to see whether or not I can disguise it by adding one going across the block. Honestly, how rubbish am I? I don't think that's going to fit. I'm going to cheat, he says. Okay. Let's get a thin micron pen or a football pen, and let's just draw. I'll just cross it. Yeah. Okay, so I'll use that one as a sample just for display. So when I do the actual demonstration for it, I'll make sure that I do the border first before I stamp the words in there. So, and then just to finish it off, I think I'm just going to do some faux stitching around the outside, or just a little bit of bit of a little decorative kind of border. Yeah, just a bit simple, doesn't have to be complicated, and it's small enough for you to be able to do in a few minutes. I think I'm just going to crack on now. I've got a few more others to do, but obviously I can't sit and chat to you guys. In fact, let me turn the camera around. That's better. I can see you properly now. Yeah, so if I carry on, this video is going to probably end up being 2 or 3 hours long, which some of you might mind. Some of you will think, oh, no. So, yeah, I've done one. You've seen me make a mistake. Yeah, you've seen me do one. I was just looking in the bin, actually, to see if I could find it again, because I did throw it in there. There you go. So you saw me make a bit of a mistake, and then learnt from that, moved on to something a bit different. It's gone back in the bin now. So there you go. Yeah, I hope you didn't mind me just having a chat with you while I did this. Like I said, I've got a couple more hours more to do. I've got to create some more samples with some different stamps that they've got, and also there's a new journal that they have which they're going to be releasing. This one, I've no idea how much this is. Again, they're in India, so I couldn't even tell you what it is, but this one's already pre-stitched. No covers on it. It's rag again, so it's cotton rag, but it's already pre-stitched. All you have to do is to make your own covers for it. As soon as I find out how much it's going to be, I will let you know. And if I can get hold of some stocks, because they do tend to go pretty quickly, and if they're selling this on the TV, then they've probably got all the stock for the TV and probably not a lot of stock to sell on the website, if you know what I mean. But if they do, I will let you know if I can get hold of any. But like I said, I hope you didn't mind. So that's all from me for now. I've got to get my head down and get my brain into gear to come up with some other demonstrations on what we can do with the stencils, the stamps, and some of the paints. And maybe even introduce some of the interference as well. I may just do some splatters in the background. Who knows? Okay, that's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.